Welcome back, Trailblazers Courtside here on an off night Monday night for the Trailblazers following the road trip to Texas. Lost in Dallas, bounced back with an impressive win in Houston, and as bad as it felt after the Dallas loss, I talked to people today that said as soon as Houston started that comeback, they couldn't take it. Turned it off, and then they were sad and went back and had to watch the DVR of it and watch the Trailblazers hold off the Rockets. And a big reason why was the play of our next guest, and that is Meyers Leonard, who had a huge fourth quarter, adding to an impressive list of games lately for him. And last night maybe put a cap on a lot of those games as of late, and he joins us now. Meyers, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well. I will say it was nice to have, a little bit of a day off. I was running around a tiny bit, but I'm doing well.
Well, good. I mean, talk about the emotional swing from the Dallas game to the Houston game. I mean, the bus ride out of the Dallas area to the airport was as quiet as we've had. The plane ride was equally quiet, and last night to almost see a repeat coming. And when Houston started the comeback, and it's okay to say, a lot of people did. They here we go again thing. But you stepped up in that fourth quarter, you personally and as a team, and got a huge win.
Yeah, obviously the Dallas loss was a tough one to take, having such a big lead, and then, a few costly turnovers early, and then we don't pull it out there in the end of the fourth, and then we lose in overtime. Certainly a game we wanted to get, but, I think the most impressive thing, I guess, if you could use that word in that situation, was that the next night against Houston, we came back, we brought energy from the start, we stuck with our game plan, and, Harden gave us all he had, but we stuck with it. The other guys on their team didn't really have much of a flow to the game. Different guys, CJ scoring there in the first half. Obviously LaMarcus and Dame, Nico West, Rolo pulling it down as they always do. And then, luckily for me there early in the fourth, I was able to, string together a few good possessions, and, we came out with a huge win. So, I read someone quoted saying, Dallas was such a hard loss to take, but it was equally as impressive that we came back the next night against another really good team and pulled out a win. So that's certainly a really good feeling to come back home to.
Your development with the Blazers is part of it. Which part of it is it confidence that you have in yourself that you can do it, that you can improve like you have, or does it take confidence of the coach in you and the coach giving you the opportunity to? What comes first and what comes second?
You know what? I would almost put it in three categories. I would say personal confidence, in no order yet. Personal confidence, coach's confidence, and then the player's confidence. Obviously, coach is going to lean on guys like LaMarcus or Dame or Wes, say, what do you think about matchups tonight? And, they're certainly not going to have the final say in, what's going on the court. That'd be coach. But I think the number one thing would probably be personal confidence, honestly. Just knowing that I'm capable of doing the things that I can do out there, the work that I've put in, the film that I've watched, Kim and the other coaches, and sometimes the other players constantly staying on me to, keep getting better, work your butt off every day. And that's something I've done. And so then obviously I would move on to coaches' confidence. That's certainly something you have to gain, especially as a young player. But not only that, coach, I believe, and the rest of the coaches probably built a little bit of confidence in other guys. We had such a good run last year. So one thing is on a consistent basis, proving to them that, I can go out there and contribute and help our team win. And then the last thing for me is, having the other players' confidence. LaMarcus, at the top, having confidence in me to play alongside him, or now I've been playing alongside Chris and Robin for the last couple of games because, I'm a little bit more of a four now. But, there's a lot of things that go into it. But, I think just overall confidence from top to bottom, listening to coach, listening to myself and my teammates.
You just mentioned that. You said you're kind of a four now. Has it been a situation where you've kind of had to carve out your own niche and stop being what people expect you to be and just, celebrate what you are as a player? I mean, there's obviously it's working now. It's almost at times you're, at least early on, we're kind of a reluctant three-point shooter, but all of a sudden had some success. We know you can shoot from the outside. And I thought last night, even during that great run, you passed up an open three at one point too. So what are you now, and does it matter? I guess that's the biggest question. When you say you're more of a stretch 4, a 5, and I thought Coach Stotts put you back in there last night, maybe not so much for your offense, which he's done in the past, but for your rebounding, because it was a time in the game when you guys had given up some defensive boards. You were put in there to grab some of those defensive boards. So I guess it's kind of a mix of what you are and whatever it is, it seems to be working.
Yeah, I don't really know what kind of stamp you can put on it. Call me a 4.5, call me a stretch 5, call me a stretch 4. I really don't care either way. I think it's, more about matchups and what I can bring to the table. For now, first and foremost on the offensive end, I think, one thing that mainly Kim is stressing me is do the things you do well right now and continue to improve on the things that are things that that we need and that you need to improve on as a player, which, I think I have over these last, games that I've been in the rotation. Rebounding for me has gone much better. I've had a couple double-doubles. I feel like I'm much more aggressive and able to read the ball coming off the rim a little better. And then, of course, the defense, the presence. Everyone sees a big body, pretty athletic, try to guard the paint for us. And I think that's coming along, too. I certainly have a long way to go, and I certainly have a long way to go on the offensive end. As Mike just mentioned, there after I made the corner three, I had one on the exact opposite side in the other corner, and I turned it down. I swung it right to Steve. So, I think it's just continuing to gain confidence in myself. But I'll say this: I think the playing has helped me. I think, going through having the experience and being out there when it's mattered, and just continue to work. It's little things here and there. Like I've said, people have asked, what you think you've done better or whatever. And I think there's been games where I've shot the ball well and, kind of been okay defensively, or I was actually a little better defensively than I normally was and didn't necessarily shoot it as well as I normally do. So I think just continuing, to put everything together and become an all-around player and do whatever this team needs for, the success on that night.
It's a funny situation when I watch Kim Hughes work with the big guys. It almost reminds me of a football team where the defense goes in one room and the offense goes in the other. All the big guys gather around Kim Hughes, and you kind of talk. And when you come out of the game, Kamen grabs you, and some of the Rolo will grab you when he wasn't playing, and Kim Hughes talks to you. It's a situation that I haven't seen in my 25 years with the Blazers, how close-knit all the big people are with Coach Kim Hughes.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. A lot of times people think that really doesn't go on, or, people don't really have personal relationships or guys that they're closer to. But certainly with our team, everyone's close. But the big guys, we definitely kind of stick around Kim. Obviously we're listening to everyone else, but like you mentioned, anytime I come off the court, generally it's Kamen first to give me his scoop on what he thought I did out there, and then it's on to Kim, and then sometimes Joe will say something. But, at practice or during film or on the plane, we kind of stick together, which is a little bit goofy, but, hey, I don't mind it.
Lastly, Meyers, you mentioned this a little bit. You touched on it, but I know it means a lot after, like, a game last night. You feel good about it yourself. To get the compliment from the coach and the paper is great, the fans. But I got to think it's real gratifying to hear the comments from your teammates and the veterans saying that how important your role was in that game, how well you played. And it's not like you're out searching for acceptance, but in a way we all are, at our jobs. And so to get that from guys you respect so much, that had to mean a lot.
Especially L.A.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I mean, getting, praise from guys like L.A. or Dame, on down the line from the starters and all the guys for that matter, we're a pretty close-knit group. I think we have really good chemistry, but, from my teammates to the coaches, whatever it is, I try not to pay attention to a lot of it. I try to, which in the past, like my rookie year, I wasn't as good at staying kind of even keel and everything like that. But, every now and then you kind of got to squeeze every bit of confidence and, good out of what you've done, and that'll only help your play. And then of course you go and study film and figure out what you could have done better. But it's pretty awesome, from guys like LaMarcus or Dame, like you guys said, to say I had a part in a big win for us. So then you just got to take that, continue to work, and move on to the next game. But it definitely is awesome. I will say that.
Well, congratulations on not only last night's victory, which you had a huge role in, but your continued progress and development. It's great to see. Happy for you, and we'll talk to you on Wednesday against the Lakers.
Sounds good, guys. Thanks for having me on.